can see, we have 4 people. I mean, actually 5 altogether. I wasn't counting myself. Anyways, we got Lee, got Ryan, you got Clarence, we got Debbie, we got Steven, and we got the speech uh, proposer there, Laura. All right, and then you get she got her set of cards.
I have to have that. Okay. Okay, thank you.
All right, there you go.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to my class in speech. I'm so glad to see everybody again. My name is Laura Dale, and I am a senior at Columbia College. I wanted to tell you first about this. There's a doctor in Boston, Massachusetts. He's a children's psychiatrist. And he talks about there's just such a problem in the United States of teenagers. Teenagers not wanting to do what the parents want them to do. Well, the teenagers have solved the problem. The way they suggest doing it is to fire the parents and then hire them back later in life when they need them. But that does not instill character. We've got to think of how they instill the character. And this would be, it's the 11 to 17-year-olds that have the problems. And that is the exact age that the Boy Scouts of America take in for membership, young boys. If anyone here, my classmates, my teacher, anyone knows of the youth that would like to be interested in this, just tell them to call. They'll put them right into a meeting. Because you've got to start this character building. You've got to instir values in them. And the characters are growing up. And that's what the Boy Scouts do. The Boy Scouts love to camp. They love to camp. And that's what one of the first things they do is they go on campouts. They love to stay out at night, look up at the stars. A Boy Scout has really keen sight when he walks through the forest. He can tell you, he can look at trees, he can look at the leaf and the bark, tell you whatever tree is. He can hear a songbird, he can hear that and tell you exactly what the bird is that's singing. And last but not least is the snakes. There's 3 poisonous snakes, the copperhead, do you know that? And the water moccasin and the rattlesnake. They have to watch out for that. Once they learn that, then the rest of them are okay. They're not bad. I mean, they're snakes, but they won't bite them. They don't have to learn what that is. Then they cook on the open fire. They're really good cooks. They love to cook. Have you ever eaten egg cooked in a half of an orange for breakfast? Doesn't that sound good? That's what they do. But the most important thing is they teach their values and character through merit badges. They do the merit badges and the campouts. And they have a Camp Geiger up at St. Joe where there's hundreds of them up there. Hundreds of the Boy Scouts. By the way, do you know how to tell a Boy Scout when you see one? This is a young man that's friendly to everybody. He's friends and friendly. And he's a brother to his Boy Scouts group. He's a comrade. They look after each other. But you can tell because they do a good turn every day. It doesn't matter if it's picking up glass or helping somebody across the street. A Boy Scout remembers to do one good turn a day. And he has the Scout oath that he lives by. This is very important. He lives by this Scout oath. It says, "On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and to my country and obey the Scout law." And the Scout law is being trustworthy. That means he always tells the truth. He's loyal. He's helpful. He's friendly. He's courteous, kind, and obedient, and cheerful, and brave, and thrifty. Stephen always remembers that because he is very thrifty in everything he does. And last is the reverence to God. We have to remember that. That's the very most important. It begins and ends with the obedience to God. Scouts have been around for 100 years. Do you know when they very first started, it was like Theodore Roosevelt and Woodrow Wilson were on the committees, and so they have studied and done the same procedure, the campouts, teaching all this, how to have your good character and your good values in life is so crucial and so important. And their motto is really good. I like that. Be prepared. And they are. Because if it's first aid, if it's, if there's any emergency happen around, you'll read about Boy Scouts going in and groups and helping out if there's earthquakes or any kind of emergency, car accidents, whatever it is, they're there to help out. But any of my classmates, as I said, anyone that's listening, this is so important because right now, the youth is having a lot of trouble. You know, there's 3,900 between 11 and 17 that start smoking every day. And that's one thing that can damage their health if they start out young. So if they could get to a meeting, they will really enjoy it, especially if you like to camp out. You get to sleep out underneath the stars, look up at the stars at night because you can't ever see them in a city. And by the time you've finished, which is you go from the tenderfoot, second class, first class, star, life, and the greatest is the Eagle Scout, the very last one. There's over 2 million Eagle Scouts in the United States. And if you ever have an opportunity to look them up, to see people that I won't mention some of the famous names now, but there's a lot of them. And it may be one of you all one of these days. I thank you so much for coming to hear me again. I really appreciate it. I thank you, and I have a display over here of some merit badges. If you can see it from here, it just shows the different badges that the boys earn as they go. Everything they learn, they get a badge for, especially in Boy Scout camp. They will love it. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for coming. I really do appreciate it. Anytime you can talk.